Alright, I would like to present to the world, I mean I already posted about it on Facebook, my project that I'm doing recently. It is a 2001 Honda Insight with a J32A2 V6 in it. If anyone knows, there's a guy named Mark Roger. He's currently has one, runs 9s with it on 150 shot or 200 shot nitrous. He and I are working close together on this, along with my buddy Ryan, and so shout out to them for providing the mounts for me. Before I say anything else, I gotta thank Mark Roger and Ryan Aarons, I think, at RiFab for helping me with this. They provided me the information. Mark's giving me a lot of information about the swap and everything I need to know and buy, and Ryan's just been there giving me general advice and other advice that he can give me. So give you just an overview of what's been changed so far. Obviously this is not an Insight motor. It is a J32A2 out of a CL Type S. The radiator is still the stock factory radiator, and I was shocked to believe that Mark actually ran this radiator. I think he upgraded recently, or I don't know, something, but he ran this radiator for quite a bit of time, and it's kind of shocking that a tiny little radiator like this is enough to cool a V6 like this. Transmission is a 04 TL transmission, and that was probably one of the most difficult things to buy and find because there's just very few of them available for a good price. You know, people usually are offering like $1,200, $1,500 for the gearbox, and it's kind of crazy. But then again, 04 to 06 was the only year they really made them. I mean, yeah, technically they had manuals after, but 04 to 06 is really the transmission that you want. It's currently, I just installed the shifter recently. You can see, I mean, you can't really see it actually. The cables are down there, and I have them all looked up, and I kind of have them jerry-rigged, so they're in, they're solid, they don't move. Everything, mostly stock stuff right now. The hood latch, I have it right up here. I'm probably going to do hood pins. My plan, most likely, is going to be I'm going to probably put them either here on this end and mirrored on the opposite side. Probably right there, because this hole I want to reserve for mounting a bracket to, because right now this radiator is loose in here, and the bracket that comes with it is not long enough, because usually there's a giant metal piece that right there is usually sitting, just for reference, kind of sitting like sort of like that. And the thing is, I could run it, but I hate this piece. You can see it's all I mean, I kind of messed with it a little bit, like I cut some stuff like right there, but like other stuff like that was just mangled. It's just a piece of crap, and I don't like it. And it's in a way, it's close to the exhaust manifold, and it's blocking this stuff and the coils on this side. I don't want to deal with it, so I'm just gonna go with the latches. Gonna need them anyway. As of right now, there's still some work to be done. I have the fuel line attached. There's vacuum lines like this one, and a coolant line down there that I have to block off on it. And axles are still not there yet. That's not my priority right now. I have a clutch master cylinder in it and a clutch cable installed. However, I'm pretty sure the master cylinder that I got is garbage. You can see, can't really see. You can't see. I really should have brought a flashlight. That up in there, I have a Honda EP3 master cylinder, clutch master cylinder, and this master cylinder has a delay valve on it. The EM2 and the EM1 Civics don't. And what's weird is because the CL down there also has a delay valve. So basically right now, the way as it sits, it's a dual delay valve, which is not ideal. Even one delay valve's kind of just If you're doing a race car, you don't really want a delay valve. But I'm pretty sure that master cylinder's garbage. It doesn't work. It's bad. Or it's just the wrong length or anything. Anyway, we'll move ourselves to the interior. And as you can see actually right here, this is a lot of the interior pieces. I still have the metal shields. I still have the motor control module. The battery I gave to Ryan. I have some of the old ECUs, some of the old tunneling. I'm actually gonna not reuse that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I mean, if anyone wants these parts, I have a shifter down there. I don't think anyone wants that, because this was an automatic car. And right now, I have a Insight pedal. I cut the brake pedal down. Currently, this brake pedal is just, this clutch pedal moves, it works, but it's bolted in, but it's not working. I have to bleed it or redo it. And this is a 2003 Acura CL Type S shifter. And if anyone's familiar with these shifters, you'll know these are very, very rare, because they only made, I think, around 3,500 manual Type S CLs in 2003. 2003 was the only year you could buy a manual Type S CL, and 3,500 of them in the world. And so this shifter was an arm and a leg. I paid $290 for the box and the cables. I didn't have to get the CL cables, but I figured they come as a kit, so might as well just buy it and, you know, do that. A little annoyed, but it's just one of the things. I have to still bolt this down properly, but it's mostly on there. But it shifts and it works. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. The cables are all good. This is all pretty much done. You might be saying, what the fuck did you do here? I installed a clip because the guy, you know, you think spending $290 on a limited shifter, the guy would include the E-clips or the C-clips for it, and he didn't. So I just had to jerry-rig something because none of the E-clips or the clamping rings or anything worked. I went to Ace Hardware, I went to Home Depot. Home Depot didn't have anything that size, and Ace Hardware didn't have the outer diameter I needed, so I just said, fuck it. I make my own thing. I grounded this down. It could use more trimming on the back, I think. It could use a little bit of adjustment. But as of right now, it's solid. It works. And that's just that until I figure that out. And right here we have, this is the cable for the new ECU and all that. Seats, everything inside, mostly still factory. I haven't really touched the interior because, you know, I have to get the car running before I worry about that. But I could, and I'm not gonna, the back of it, all the car, there's some intake, there's some random miscellaneous junk back there. There's the old 12 volt. The battery pack is gone. I have given, like I said, I gave that to Ryan, my buddy. They're doing testing or something on it. Wheels still have the factory rims, and everything else is still factory. I'm probably gonna reuse these hubs at some point. And you can see, I don't know, you can't see. And down there, I cut this off. I got rid of the sway bar, so that's deleted. And I ground it down. There's little tabs. But as of right now, the project is a little bit on a standstill. Funds are a little dry, and I'm kind of working on and off on this. But projection, if everything goes right, I'm hoping that I can get this car done by beginning of August. It gives me a few months to collect money and work on the car. Very little things. All I need to do really is I need to hook up the throttle cable. Need to get the right adjustment for it. The throttle cable needs to get hooked up. There's some more miscellaneous connectors. The starter has to get hooked up. I have to figure out how to deal with this wiring, this body wire harness. Some miscellaneous. It's mostly miscellaneous crap. Once the car is running it, though, I have the ECU sent out to Mark to get the immobilizer installed on it, to the new ECU, so I can still use the key and all that. Then I'll have to figure out how to install the park switch sensor and a bunch of other stuff to make sure that the ECU is happy, because, you know, how is it supposed to, it's an automatic, it's an automatic engine on a manual trans, and so the computer's going to get really weirded out. It's going to be like, hey, what the heck, where's all these sensor inputs? Because, you know, I'm an automatic. The computer doesn't know that it's in a completely different car, in a completely different transmission. All it knows is that I am an automatic ECU and I do this. But that's the status update on it right now. I figured I'd post a video just explaining this, and you know, I figured I'd share something. I share this because this is an interesting project that not many people are doing. Mark Roger is like the one who really pioneered this whole thing, and there are a few others. I've seen them. You know, there's a few other J-swapped-in sites, and there's even a mid-engine one that was naturally turboed, and it's now turboed or whatever, something crazy like that. But that's all I'm going to say for now, and I'll post updates on it. This is just part one, just to get people familiar with this, and I will post an update. Probably what's going to be next is I'm going to install the hood latches to, you know, get the hood all nice and situated, because right now the hood closes. I might need to ground around a little bit more of the hood off, but the hood latches are going to put, and I'm most likely going to put them here. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to take a random piece of steel that I have lying around, and I'm just going to fab something up. It doesn't have to be nice, it just has to hold the radiator in place. But until next time, this is Spiro checking out.